Hi. I'm coming. Oh, wait, I can remove that one for now. Okay. Hi. Sorry. Okay, so yes, you guys are probably catching this on the replay if you're catching it all. And it's because I didn't want to spend time editing and uploading and all that shit. So, but I wanted to go over, commentate on a few parts of the stream from Nonsense because it's concerning to me anyways. It's very concerning. And I would think that there are, to any content creator, it would be concerning. Anyone who valued any type of free speech or the freedom to speak on things, rather. And also to any capitalists out there. And I don't mean like the unchecked, like free reign capitalism. I mean your basic capitalism with a touch of humanity in it. I would think that this would bother you too, because a bunch of Karens want to take away your ability to make money on social media because they take issue with your content, your subject matter, even though it's nothing perverted, it's nothing against any kinds of terms of service. They just don't like it. I mean, they're to the point where they're talking about writing their fucking legislatures. I mean, what? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me with this shit? Anyway, I'm just going to get right to it and start commentating. I'm going to be doing my makeup and shit while I do this too. So if that bothers you, then I guess maybe just listen to the stream and not watch it. Hi. Good morning. Okay.
I don't. That's skipped my room. I'm so sorry.
Damn that sound.
That's crazy. Yeah, I don't even monetize half my videos. I don't. That's the part of it. I don't give a shit. I'll play music. I mean, we got banned yesterday with my smart ass shit, but I don't care. This isn't. I would rather have my voice mean something and do something than all this petty bullshit.
That's great for her. She has the freedom to make that decision with her channel and her content. She wants to take away your freedom to do that as well.
Like there's a bigger focus here, right? We're on the verge of some real good shit. Shit.
Like what?
That could positively affect change.
Like how?
There's a lot of people that are involved in this. A lot of voices that have been working so hard on this. And they have put themselves in front of the line of fire. Let me tell you, the firing squad, they're pretty bad aim. But they still, those rubber bullets hurt after a while. They just get really like a wasp nest on the back of your legs. And it's hard. It is like, it's mentally exhausting to get out here in front of all of the shit that they throw at you. But I have a bigger.
I think that she might be right about that. I think for some people it is. And I think she's one of those people where it is hard. I mean, look at the toll it's taken on her shoulders or lack thereof. All right, I'm getting petty. Sorry.
Focus on this. I've always said from day one, this is nothing personal for me. This is nothing about a personal vested, I can't stand this person. I'm out here. Nope, that's never been the case. It's about something's got to change. And I never even realized how bad this was when we came out here.
Okay, here are my questions. Who are we? Who's we? Who's we that came out here? And you didn't realize how bad what was? The internet? Because, lady, I got some surprise for you. You think this is bad? Try pissing off the really bad people online. And who's, like, why are you here? Why are you here? You're not here to talk about the story that you allege brought you here, the Marvin issue. You're not here for that. You just clearly stated that. You're here for another issue. That was just like your foot in or something, maybe. So who is all these people? Who else is behind the scenes? Who's taking these hits from these rubber bullets? And bitch, have you never been stung by a fucking hornet before? That shit fucking hurts. Let's not downplay that. I feel like you could cause some real damage there. Crazy. Bitches be crazy. Okay. Next clip. Yeah, there's just a series of like 7-8 clips here that I wanted to use as a stepping point to commentate and speak my mind. I realize people may not care to hear my mind, but you have that choice. Well, right now you have that choice. A bunch of Karens want to make these choices for you, though.
Beer Can Island, thank you for that. I am so proud to say that I have some really kick-ass people in this chat that actually do make a difference in their own communities and like actually are really trying to make a change. There's a lot of people over here that are damn good people. And I think that's where I'm at in this.
You're going to find that, well, you think that there aren't good people in these other communities that you're warring with? Because every community here on YouTube has the same type of people. There may be little different variations that make us all individually unique. However, you're going to find good and bad people in every community. Don't think that you have some fucking shoe in here like you're the chosen community for all these good saints or whatever. Nah, there are plenty of people in all these other communities who are doing things to enact change in their own communities, both physically and virtual communities. So, but you can't admit that because that takes away your sense of righteousness, right? Because you feel entitled to dictate things like this on social media for the rest of us. Yeah.
Whole thing is like, now it's time to take it to the next step.
The next step.
So we talk about it a lot, but we need to have.
We don't talk about it.
So what does that follow through look like?
Yeah, what's it look like?
Is it letters to our congressmen? Is it letters to our local officials? Is it letters to federal officials? Like, where do we go from here? And I think that's where I kind of want to find somebody, or try to find somebody that can kind of give us some ideas, or, you know, somebody that has power and influence. But
you hear this shit? She wants to take things to the next step, the next level, whatever. That's writing her congressman. For what? For what? What? Seriously, like, what is this going to look like for them? What is, if they, let's say that they, by some miracle, they get their congressman's attention for 10 minutes, uninterrupted, complete and total focus. What are they going to put in that letter? What words are they going to assemble to state what? Are they going to describe how someone was mean to them online, or how there were people online talking about these public interest stories? Like, they're bitching about the news, basically. For granted, it's not the credible, you know, nightly news or whatever on mainstream media. No, this is like your YouTube gossip news. They're bitching that people are talking about things. That's what they're doing. How are they going to explain this to their Congress people? And what are they going to ask that their Congress people do as a result? I mean, that's crazy. I don't know, man. Like, I think congressmen get paid way too much fucking money every year, okay? But if I were a congressperson and I read this shit, I'd be like, I'm not paid enough for this shit. Jesus.
By change. What do you want to change? The ability of how easy it is to exploit these victims in their cases for financial gain by complete strangers. And it's happening.
So you hear that? That's what she wants to change. The ability for people to exploit these victims online for profit by complete strangers. She wants to control what it is people talk about on YouTube and whether or not they're able to make money from their time and effort talking about these human interest stories with other humans online. All because she deems that you're not worthy to talk about it and to make money. And they're determining who's considered a victim and who's not, because they're victimizing people in their efforts to try to stop people from victimizing others, in their opinion. But what about those victims? I mean, because she too is exploiting everyone involved. If you apply her standards to this her purity tests, her gatekeeping, if you apply that to what she's doing, she's exploiting the shit out of everyone, not just the original people being exploited, the victims, but also those talking about them. She's exploiting them all by her own standards, right? But this is insane. This is what happens when entitled people feel entitled to the internet. I mean, the internet, to me anyways, for as long as I can remember, and I'm old enough to remember when there was no internet. So to me, anyways, the internet has always been a place to kind of level the playing field. Like in a real life situation, maybe you weren't confident enough to be yourself for whatever reason. Maybe the anxiety is too much, or people judged you by things that didn't really matter to the situation, whether it be looks or income or status in life, whatever. On the internet, everyone's equal. You're judged by your words, by the things you say, by what you type. That's one thing I've really liked about this, because I think that having that has helped me build confidence in myself for real life, because I'm not at all the same person I was even 5 years ago, let alone 20 years ago. And this is by and large a big part of it. I'm trying to imagine what it'd be like having the internet all these years with their input, with their influence. It would have been worse than real life, I think. I mean, just no one has the right. No one's entitled to fucking take the internet away from the rest of us. I'm sorry, and that's what they're talking about doing, one way or another. That's what they're talking about doing. They want to make it in their own image and their own perception, their own view, their own morality. That's definitely taking the internet from the rest of us.
Happening with mainstream media. It's happening with what people are terming them tragedy pimps, misinformation cronies, whatever the case may be. They are using these tragedies to exploit time and time again for financial gain. And it's allowed because of random social media platforms that will not enforce their terms of service.
No,
at the end of the day, that's some of it. Thank you. I'm in jeans. I know.
No, it's allowed because it's not against terms of service. See, you have to first understand terms of service to know whether or not terms of service is being applied and enacted. That's what you need to do. You need to go back and go to fucking terms of service school, because Karens just can't fucking understand legalese. Apparently, they think that it's written all for them and just about them and for and only about them. It's not written to consider society as a whole, or they think they are the entirety of society, one or the other. I don't know, but either way, they think it's all about them, but it's fucking not. So maybe go back and understand terms of service first. And I hope people realize here on YouTube that when she's talking about this, you may think that, oh, she's just talking about people like Molly Golightly, or she's just talking about, I don't know, like Bullhorn Betty or something, you know what I mean? But she's not. If your commentary and you're talking about anything that has to do with human interest, oh, this will absolutely apply to you. Whether or not it'll affect you, well, I think as we continue watching, you'll see the chances of that are slim to none, because she just doesn't come across as someone who's really effective in anything. But that doesn't mean that will always be the case, or that there won't someday soon come a Karen who is fucking capable. And I think it's dangerous, very dangerous, for people to want to limit our speech. Right?
That's crazy. Banana bicycle seat. I thought about that before coming live, and I should have. I really should have, but I will as soon as.
I don't know what the hell that was about. Okay, this one's a little bit longer of one, but so what? That's cool. Okay.
Have always been kind.
Yeah. So Was That Justice has a question. I am in the camp that they should not have a platform, but there are so many that just want them to continue to put out content for them to laugh at. What do we do?
You don't watch.
Yeah, that's a good question. So, again, I'm not for cancel culture
The
personally.
fuck you're not.
Me neither.
Okay.
Because as you can see, and I'm going to use this as.
How many times has Nonsense fucking supported Molly being reported, asked for Molly to be reported? I mean, where do you think reporting goes? Where do you think that goes? Huh? That goes towards that channel being canceled. So yeah, you're all about the fucking channel being canceled. Now, and I'm not saying that there aren't times where it's worthy, or that's, something that should be considered or whatever. Yeah, maybe. But free speech is not one of those times. It's not a reason for it. It's not. You not liking the fact that someone's talking about something that you find to be offensive or difficult or whatever is not reason enough. Sorry.
As an example, so those of you can just piss off, but Michelle, for instance, she's off the platform, right? So she lost her channel, which that's ideally what
She was drinking and driving on screen on a live. Like, I know a lot of people take issue with a lot of other things she's done. That was my issue. That was something that I mean, I didn't report her for it. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, I wouldn't blame myself if I had. I don't blame anyone else who had either, because I mean, I don't have a problem with it because it's against the law kind of thing. I have a problem with it because of what it was she was doing, what violation she was doing. She was endangering herself. She was endangering others, and she was making it seem cool. She was trying to present it as if she thought she was cool for doing it, in a sense, or she was cool even despite the fact she was doing it, whatever. That's going to, in some way, influence some people to make the same decision, and that's something like that I have an issue with. Now, maybe it's because I grew up in the industry, the bar industry, and I've seen my fair share of people sadly go that way. But yeah, that's just, I don't know. There are some laws that make sense. That's one of them.
a lot of people would like to see happen there, but it doesn't really stop it. So it's hard because I don't know. I don't know. I don't have a clear-cut answer as for that right now. We've got to try and continue to spread the truth. We've got to continue to try and figure out a way to stop being just voices behind screens and be heard by people that actually can help make change, like lawmakers, legislature, and these people like are pushing serious situations too far. So standing up for what's right. If they call you, put it out front. Stop taking their shit. Standing united together as one. And even if we have disagreements over small shit, there's people I will never, will never be a part of my team because their intentions have been wrong all.
Guys, y'all, this is YouTube. Fucking YouTube. This is not some social justice platform. It's entertainment. They want to punish people for not using their channel for the greater good, for enacting positive change in society. And I'm not, whatever, if that's what you want to use your channel for, I fully support that. That's awesome. But it's an entertainment social media platform. You don't have to do that with your channel. But they seem to think you are a piece of shit if you don't. And this whole thing, I'm dying to know, like, what are you going to write your congressman about? What will that amendment or that bill or whatever read? Should you have your way? Like, say you have a chance to make this outcome be what design it and have it look and come out to be exactly what it is you are envisioning. What is it you are envisioning? What would be the perfect outcome here? Because here's the thing, I don't think she knows. I think she's just spouting off shit at the mouth, trying to just fucking rally people up, create this little online army or whatever. That's what I think she's doing. She doesn't give a shit. And she doesn't give a shit about her viewers. She doesn't give a shit about anyone who's being hurt or exploited or whatever, because she's right here doing the same shit to everyone else. But here's the thing, though. People like her, they will push it that extra mile to get what they want. People ask me often, like, why do I hold Molly accountable? Or why do I hold like someone like Nonsense accountable in certain areas? Why do I come at her about certain things, but I don't come at Molly for the same thing? And here's the thing, because they are two very different women, in my opinion. See, I think people just in general, but especially women, we like to stand out from the crowd. Okay. So, but there's several different ways in which you can go about doing this. For example, like, say you're just standing in front of a crowd and you're 1 in 10 people there up on a stage, or whatever, you and 9 other people up on stage, and you have to try to attract the audience's attention. Now, there's several different ways you can do this, and figuratively speaking, anyways. Someone like Molly will do something to attract the attention away from others and onto her. That's what she will use herself to do that. She will commit to an action or something that gets people to look at her. Okay. So she's not, so what she's doing is she's bringing herself out into the front, or herself up a level, however you want to look at it. Someone like Nonsense here, that's not how she goes about it. Nonsense will kick down all the women around her. So she just appears to be standing out, when in actuality, she's not. She just kicked down everyone else. That's what it all comes down to. Because you know what? I would, if anyone who I associate with, you know, in a positive manner, whether it be actual friends or acquaintances or colleagues or just friendly, I don't want someone who I have to worry about kicking me down to step on me to get a leg up or to shine or something. I want someone who's going to challenge me. I want someone who's going to make me think outside the box, who's going to inspire me to think of something that I never would have thought of before. That's the difference between these two. Nonsense will kick you. Molly will make you dig deep inside yourself and find something you never knew was there. Big difference. Big fucking difference. Now you can say whatever you want about not Molly. And like I've said before, you may even be right about a few things, but make no mistake about it. She knows what she is, and she doesn't make any apologies for it, nor does she try to hide it. Nonsense here. She'll piss on your head, tell you it's raining, and then condemn all fucking umbrellas from being used. So, moving on.
Along, they've only switched sides because it's the right thing to do, or too many eyes are over there. So, for the most part, you know, standing together, standing united against this stuff, and continuing to talk about it, continuing to call it out and say it's not okay, is the best option at this point in time. But we've also got to start we got to stop talking about it and make traction in something. So what are those action steps going to be? I'm not quite sure. That's what a bunch of us have been talking about recently, of where do we go from here? What are the action steps going to look like? It's been mentioned about, sorry, I'm on a tangent. It's been mentioned about a petition previously, and petitions are amazing, right? They can really do something. But you have to have action steps. You have to have follow through. You have to have a complete plan of action, and somebody that is willing to take that on and really drive it home. And it's got to be done in so many different ways to make an impact. Yeah, you can say numbers on a thing, but that doesn't mean anything at that point. You've got to really have follow through. So that's where we're at. I don't have a clear-cut answer.
Moving on.
I think we're getting closer.
Yeah, I think petitions are a start. So to me personally, what I do is the first thing that I do is, if I see that a page is using, just using it for content instead of, like actually wanting to make a change. Like I'm very, very choosy on who I give my sub to, right?
And see, that's the thing, that you're right. That's how you should be. That's your power here on YouTube, is you decide who just gets your time and attention and who you help create AdSense for. That's it. That's where your rights end, really. But to hear her say, for her, she's looking to see who's doing something with their channel, or who's exploiting something, or who's talking about it for change rather than for profit, or fuck out of here with that. Like, come on. I'm not saying that people should have free reign to, actually cause harm and shit for people, but this is what TOS is for. TOS is there for a reason. You don't get to decide what TOS is implemented for, or what it should be, or whatever. Sorry, not sorry. And petition? Did anyone really think petitions fucking do anything? Like, okay, here's the thing. Back in the day, when people went around like door to door to get actual physical signatures, yeah, then petitions held some power. But even then, that power was reserved for their local area, because that's who the people were, where they were all clustered together, who it was impacting. Well, you think these online petitions mean fucking anything? Even at whitehouse.gov, anyone can fucking sign up for these things and add a signature to it. No one takes this shit seriously. Like, what are you trying? Just stop it.
The power that I have as a viewer, not as a creator, but as a viewer. And so to me, and it doesn't mean like, Bridget made me mad today, so I'm taking away my sub from her. Like, no, I mean,
But it
really,
can
she
be.
may not even care. So who cares, you know? But to me, people mess up, people make mistakes, right? But if I see this pattern is established, for me, I'm going to leave them alone. I'm going to go looking for somebody who is like-minded and has the overall cause. And people mess up all the time. If they own it and they don't do that again, like that's what I'm looking for. But if they own it today and they're so apologetic today, and then tomorrow they do the same exact thing over and over and over and over, repeat, like wash, rinse, and repeat is what we hear all the time in the comments. That's the person. Like, I'm okay. I'm gonna give you, and Nonsense will tell you, like, I have so much hope that people, and I have had for months, hope that people would own the stuff that they've done, hope that people would turn it around and really do, like, you know, you can say you're about a mission till you're blue in the face, but if your actions tell me you're just about content, clicks, views, and money.
It's an entertainment website. What mission are we here for? Okay. Oh my God. And I love, do you hear how she's explaining what she looks for in a content creator? I mean, is she looking for a content creator or someone to share a bed with? Like, for real, these standards she's applying to strangers online who talk about social or just human interest things, crime, whatever. Like, you have to be pure. You have to be pure hearted. And if you make mistakes, well, you have to own it appropriately. You have to show the right amount of remorse. Then, only then will she give you her subscription. Because the subscription, man, it's got to be like the most valuable fucking thing in the world. Like, it's got to be like her hand in marriage or something for her to apply these insane fucking standards, right? Anyway, it does matter. She has every right to do that. Don't get me wrong. I'm not bitching about that. I am, but it's a pet peeve of mine. Maybe it's not an actual like thing that people should worry about. I just think it's fucking crazy, like really crazy. But whatever. Okay, moving on.
Money, then that's different. Like, your actions and your words aren't lining up, I'm out. I don't give them the views. I won't go. Now, I will watch the hell out of some clip channels. I'll give the clip channels a view. I'm not going to lie about that. I do. But I don't give them my view. And even 30 seconds on a video is considered a view for them.
Yeah.
So I don't do that. I don't give them the sub. I don't give them a thumbs up. I don't give them a thumbs down. I try not to, I promote those who like, we recently kind of have found Queen Bee, right? And she seems very well aligned with she wants to work with as many creators and subs as she can to actually get this to the point where it's not just, what does a petition really do?
Yeah.
The change.org things, like, I know you guys have seen them before. Somebody sent me one the other day for somebody else, right? The change.org is nice, but all you have is signatures at that point. If you don't take those signatures and take it to your local assembly members, Congress members, any Senate members, anything like that, then it
Oh, my earbud just died.
like that, then it means nothing. You collected all those signatures for nothing. And I'm not collecting signatures unless I know we are prepared. We are educated.
You're not collecting anything if you're talking about an internet petition. You set it up, you type it out, and then you sit back, and then the website collects it. And then you just grab it. I mean, I don't know. They've struck me as weird the way she's talking about how I'm not going to collect. It sounds like she's not going to put into work or whatever, but there is no work. That's kind of why these petitions don't really mean all that much.
Enough. We have somebody on the team that has done enough research to say, here's a packet that we have. We're going to send this out. We're going to send this to all of the representatives throughout the country, or in the state that I'm in, I'm sending it to my representatives in my district. And Nonsense may say, I'm sending it to my representatives. And you guys may say, again, it doesn't cost you anything, right? You go, you digitally download this file, you print it out, and you go and you drop it off at your senator's office. Doesn't cost you anything to do that, but it helps that.
See, I want to ask the people here who think that they're online or whatever. First of all, who think that just having a commentary channel is what's going to enact change. No, you have to basically like set out a pinpoint plan, almost right, like the outline of the legislation. in order for your representative to seriously consider anything that you're putting forth. They're not going to hear, listen, I don't think the internet is very nice and I think some things need to change. Please change it. And then they're just going to go run with it and change it. That's not how it works. No, if you got to put in the work, you got to put in the research. You have to put in the hours upon hours upon hours about researching this issue, this topic. Make sure that it's within guidelines, within the law. Okay. And then you have to put forth a plan, an idea. And then if the representative sees that it meets all bullet points and all points and it's not infringing on anything, then they may or may not take it under their wing. But just handing a bunch of online petitions and saying these people agree that, they shouldn't be able to talk about victims. See, this is why I'm not too worried about them being effective. But that, like I said, that doesn't mean that they won't always be ineffective, because they may very well, I don't know, anything can happen.
That cause, that's what I'm looking to be aligned with.
Yeah, and also too, when we do things like that, like packets like that, we've got to be very selective of what we're putting into stuff like that, because people get caught up out here and think that drama is important details to legal people, to law enforcement, to state representatives. They don't care about that shit. They want to know what is happening and who is it.
But that's what you're talking about here. You're talking about what is drama. And then you're talking about wanting to change the drama, and then saying that the people who have the power to in fact change, they don't care about the drama. What the fuck?
Affecting. Like that, they want to see behavior and the impacts. And like, we've got to be very choosy about what we put in there too, and what we direct our efforts towards, because there's a lot of people out here saying that they're helping or hoping to make change, right? That they're working for change. But then they're doing shit like going to, they're making parodies about situations that are very serious situations and have impacts on lives at the time.
Let me tell you about the power of parody, okay? Pretty much any social change that has come about, a good amount of people finally made that switch in their head to realize something needed change or something was just really wrong. They were able to do that because of parody. That's the power of parody, is you show the ridiculousness of something that is just widely accepted, and you point out why it should not be widely accepted. That's how you change minds. That's how you actually truly do affect change. It's through parody.
The time. It's not cute. It's not funny. It's not helping anything. It's a distraction from the reality of how problematic this actually fucking is. Truth be told. So we've got to stop being okay with nonsense because they claim to be on this side of things and they want to see a change. So we're willing to overlook certain things here, but yet we're going to continue to call it out over here. No, wrong is wrong. I don't give a fuck who's.
Holy shit. Have you met yourself? Have you seen your fucking content? Because that's exactly you. You want to sit here and point out the wrong that everyone else is doing, but then you want to use the same exact tactics though to show the wrong. But whatever, I digress. I don't care about that. You're allowed to be a fucking hypocrite. But people don't have to be here because they want to affect change. They can say that they want to see change, they want to help affect change, but they don't have to show that they want to affect change. It's fucking YouTube. It's YouTube. It's fucking YouTube. Holy shit. It's YouTube.
Who's doing it? It is not okay. Like, this shit isn't a game anymore. This shit is affecting real people and real lives. Like Queen Bee was sitting there talking about that.
Why is my internet going out? All right, sorry. I want to pause that because I saw my internet, the line's going weird. Actually, you know what? Let me do this. I'm going to switch to Ethernet. I don't even know why the Wi-Fi's on. Let me give it a second to switch over. And it says I'm live. Okay, good.
Quentin Simon about the hospice patient. Like, think about that. The child with autism in the house and hearing the constant screaming going on. Like, we have really got to be mindful. Like, there are some very intelligent people in this comment section, let me tell you. Extremely intelligent, extremely well-rounded, intelligent people that have offered to help. Like, I have people that are willing to help
When
write
they're not that
documents,
intelligent.
and we need a direction to go. Somebody else mentioned a peaceful protest outside Molly's house because they love it so much. I was like, well, I'm across the country, so I'm not good on that. But hey,
I mean, but
Even if you're across the street, you wouldn't go. Come on now.
even then, what good does that do? It doesn't change the laws. It doesn't
No.
take her
What
off
law?
the internet, and it makes her the
What fucking law do you want to change? Seriously, please tell me what law it is you want to change. What law in particular? What law do you want to enact? Just tell me what this law is going to demand. What do you have in mind? I mean, I think that we should know. I think that the commentary community should know. I think the YouTube community should know. I think hell, the fucking mainstream media should know, because that's who you're talking about affecting. That's who your issues and problem are with. And that's what you want to see stipend. So, please, what kind of law do you want to see changed, enacted, or abolished? Whatever.
the victim so that she can cry, look at what these haters are making them do. They all want to go down on me. Like, what is the point of that? Even that.
Like, that's what I'm saying is those things, like, yes, that's how frustrated people are. That's how desperate people are for change. That they're
If you're that frustrated, then you need to figure out a way to work through it, because you shouldn't be that frustrated in what someone else is doing somewhere on the internet. You know, if it's not hurting you and yours, you just don't agree with it. Then I think the problem here is you don't know how to work through your own frustration.
they're willing to go out there and stand out there because they're so sick of them doing it to other people. So we've got to rein that emotion in and think.
There are laws on the books that can either help try to prevent some sort of like in-person harassment, or at least stop it when it happens. Okay. And I agree with that. Okay. And I really do disagree with anyone going to a house like Molly and Bullhorn Betty did, you know, in Georgia there, and protesting outside of it because you think that the police should do their job according to your specifications, and that you don't like that they haven't arrested and publicly blamed and shamed these people that you think and you've determined are guilty of this crime. That's vigilante justice. And there's a reason why that's not acceptable, why that's not allowed, and why that's definitely not wanted, because people are wrong. A lot. They're very wrong. And the law, punishment has to be fair and just. It can't be based on emotion. I put it this way, like, okay, I once had this person I know, and he was at my house once, and he stole a ring from me. Now, this ring meant something to me. My mother, it was her engagement ring. Now, my parents, they had kind of a shotgun wedding, but definitely not a shotgun marriage. So when I was like 5, real young anyways, my dad, he was working out of town in Atlantic City, and he came home with this ring for my mom. It was finally, she got an engagement ring. And I fell in love with this ring. I mean, it was a gorgeous ring. It wasn't just because of how pretty it was or whatever, but it was because of what it represented and what I experienced by being there. So when my mom passed away, because like all throughout my life, I always wanted to try the ring. I loved the ring. I mean, I showed how much I wanted this ring. So when she passed away, she left me the ring. Well, I had a friend over one time. It wasn't our friend, was over one time. And he ended up stealing my ring. Now, because of that story, and because my daughter loved the ring too, because I grew up my daughter had grown up hearing this story. And I kept telling her how I was going to leave her the ring. Now, when this guy stole that ring, he took that from me, from my daughter, from my mother. Now, had it been my decision, the police would have fucking knocked down his door, beat the fuck out of him, and took the ring from him one way or the other, or took it out in fucking blood. That would have been my desire, okay? Because I was emotionally involved and invested. I was heavily biased. But we're just, in actuality, we're just talking about a ring. And it wasn't even like some like 10-carat ring or whatever. I mean, it's a nice ring, don't get me wrong. But I mean, I don't think if you were to buy that ring today, it would probably cost like well under 5,000, so really the reaction I would have wanted to see, the punishment I would have wanted to see, would it really have been rational in this situation? And that's why the victims aren't allowed, and they shouldn't be allowed to decide what happens as a result of how they've been wronged. Now, we're not talking monetary damages, that's civil court or whatever, that's something different. We're talking here just punishment that they're invoking of the right or the ability of the state to take away someone's freedom, someone's life. Okay. There's a reason why the victims don't get to choose that, because that would not be just or fair. I ended up finding my ring in a pawn shop, mind you, months later. But so yeah, and this is why vigilante justice can't exist, because that's what we would end up seeing. We would end up seeing people beaten within an inch of their lives, or possibly even killed because they stole a ring. How is that right? That's not. So, and not only that, I mean, people are going to be wrong because they can't see past their emotions. That's the problem. That's why we have all of these guidelines and everything in place for the investigators as they investigate a case, so that they don't overstep their bounds and they don't get emotionally involved and they don't assert that over someone else's rights. So that's where I stand on that whole thing.
And think, how can we use that emotion and that energy to put it to things that they cannot continue to exploit? She would milk that for all it's worth. Are you kidding me? That would be her heyday.
Yeah.
Her town would probably like to run her out. Oh, thank you for becoming a member. I'm sorry. I'm terrible at this. I keep saying it wrong. Joel. Southbound.
Joe LeBlanc and Southbound Train. I feel like you got to say that with the country accent.
I know. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Is it all one? Is it two? What am I doing?
Next one. One, 6. Yep.
Of like super monotone. You've really got to be into that type of thing to be able to deal with that voice and that tone, and that's just not me. Yeah. Everybody, you know how many people, should I be the typical creator? Oh my God, why are you guys promoting her channel? Do not drop another channel name in my chat. What are you guys thinking? Why are you promoting another channel in my chat?
If you see where the bar is here on the stream, there's a reason why I didn't record much for quite a while, because she was just way too happy and pleased to be discussing herself and how, oh my God, you would not believe like the DMs and everything I get. And she's smiling as she's talking about people allegedly showing up in her DMs and saying all this shit and thinking about her and targeting her and yada, yada. I got to say, I'm the chick who read Katie's fucking R report online. However you want to look at it, that's how people look at it. And I haven't received any kind of shit like this ever in my inbox. Sure, I've received some messages and shit, but anything like she's explaining, or even some other content creators are explaining. So I'm kind of curious how it is that these people who haven't done anything that they deem as bad and unworthy as what I did are receiving all this way more negative reactions from people. They might want to wonder why that is. I don't know.
Go away, haters.
See, we have a lot of OGs. I wouldn't be able to. We got to do that on somebody's panel, though. We've got to do that. There are so many things. Okay, that's something that's keeping it on the internet too. People are really upset about that post, like that roasting, and I'm like, the fuck? They go real life and touch people's real lives on a daily basis and affect people's real lives. We're using their behaviors to roast their asses over the internet on shit that they've actually done.
You're talking about changing the law because you don't think people should be able to talk about public interest stories that have victims. How is that not going real life? Like, how is this like the pinnacle of real life? You're trying to affect a large scale on the real lives on a large scale in a single action. That's insane.
So if you can't take the heat, get the fuck out of the kitchen.
Word.
You can roast me all you want. I'm just not going to watch it because I don't give a fuck. You do it on a daily basis. And I still don't care.
Yeah.
Oh, you care. You fucking totally care. You love it, though, I think. That's the end of that one. One, 6, 7.
I feel my voice is heard so much that I don't really have much. You guys do invite me on panels. The only reason why I always decline is usually I'm in bed super early. I have kids around all the time. Well, right now they're hanging out with the older one, but I am not a really good multi-panel. I always feel like I'm rude or interrupting somebody, and there's always so many people that want to get on these panels that I feel my voice is heard so much that I don't really have much imperative to say to people. So I always decline because I always just feel bad, like taking somebody else's spot.
No, she declines because she doesn't want to have to participate in an actual discussion. She doesn't want to hear somebody else's point of view. She doesn't want to have to consider somebody else's point of view. She just wants to assert her own on everyone she talks to. She wants to have complete and total control because she wants to paint this picture. She wants to make things her way, the way she thinks and deems is right. Fuck all else. Fuck what you think. And on a panel, you have to participate in a discussion. You have to not only talk, but you have to listen. That is where the problem lies for her. She doesn't want to listen. She doesn't know how to listen.
It's nothing against the creators at all. Like, I feel honored when they invite me. It's just a weird thing with me. It's weird with me, but I am totally cool with anybody coming here anytime.
See,
you can come up.
It's not the panel then that bothers her. She's fine with, hey, yeah, come on over to my house. We'll all sit here and talk. No, because that's why she's fine with it, because there she's in control. I don't see her ever walking into any kind of a situation and just sitting there quietly and just going with the flow or anything. She's the type that has to come in and take control over everything, which is fine. I mean, I think all of us kind of have our moments like that to some degree, but some I think more than others. And it's fine. You know, there's nothing wrong with that if that's your personality. What's kind of wrong with it is when you do it because you don't know how else to do things. If you don't know how to follow, I feel like you can't really know how to lead either. Like, you have to know when to shut up as well as know when to talk. That's the problem.
Come up, hang out, whatever. I'm awkward. Okay.
Yeah. Starry Night. I don't hate the idea. I just have to, I gotta toss it around. And then 3 Dot Dave, just so you know, there's not a specific subject that we're discussing.
Okay. This one here, I forgot to take it off of the recording screen, so it's going to be able to arrange it. Sorry.
Navy comes up. I miss Navy coming up. Navy comes up. That's a blast. I love hanging out with the other people. Big panels are really hard when people talk over each other. That's why I like them over here, though. Well, Queen Bees is pretty organized too.
See?
They try to give each other a room too, it seems like.
Yeah, I don't think that they really.
She doesn't have a problem with the big panels. She just has a problem when she's not in charge of them.
They talk over each other much. I was actually pretty surprised. I think we had at one point in time we had 6 people on panel together that night.
Oh, really?
And everybody was super duper. What? T. Kelly? I would never. I just didn't see the comment. But everybody is super duper they were very conscious of oh no, go ahead. So that everybody got a chance. Hey, Army wife. How's your son doing?
You guys are so goofy they're all afraid. They're like, no. Because her name Queen Bee.
Croc said, I like Queen Bee. She seems very real, but kind of scares me.
I love her. I love the real bitches though. And I'm not calling her a bitch.
No, not yet. But Queen Bee, rest assured, that time will come. It's just how things go with her.
Of her, because instantly I was watching her replay the other day and something said, and she said something bug or something right after playing that clip. And that's what my whole thing was. Oh, so gangster. Like, here we go. I died laughing though, because I was like, she had the same reaction I did too. And I was just cracking up. I was like, this is great. Yeah,
Sammy, I seen that. And I didn't even know the guy at all. So Sammy was telling you a story. He said a guy in another community was sick. Everyone knew he had days left, and he came on panel, and Bridget had him laughing. He passed away 4 days later, but she did it so elegantly. Like he was even like, he could barely laugh, but he was even laughing. And to know that like that was like his farewell to the community was amazing to me. Like, again, I don't even know who he was, but I did see the video of her on panel, and I was like, that's amazing.
I saw her post after that, and yeah, she's a sweetheart. She's walked the plank. I've heard that about her too, that she has really reached out and done a lot. Like, that's the one thing I will say is we have been very lucky and very fortunate over here, I think, with the creators that have found their way over here and have, became part of the island with us, as it built. They were a part of the foundation.
Doesn't anyone find that a bit odd? Like, she describes her space on YouTube. She describes it as an island. Okay, now that tells me that she wants to be on an island away from everyone else with her people. Why is that? Why doesn't she want to be seen by her people interacting with people on the mainland? Why doesn't she want her people to also be interacting with people on the mainland? Why does she want to isolate everyone whose ears she has? She wants you all isolated and hearing her and talking to her and only thinking and considering her rather than, I don't know, normal human shit. I don't know, man. I read it. I don't think I'm reading too much into that. I think I'm reading just right into that.
Really. But they have all been big fixtures in some way, shape, or form. But one thing that is a common theme with most of the people, like the creators that surround themselves over here, is everybody has something good to say about them. They have something, that they've done for other people, or something good that they've offered to the community or done for other people, in the community, emotionally helping them through grief, whatever the process may be.
You don't think for a second that people in other communities that you've deemed as unworthy are doing the same shit for their communities? I mean, why would they do that shit for you? Of course they wouldn't, just like you're not doing shit for them. But within their own communities, they're doing the same exact shit that you and your community are doing because they're people, okay? You're not any better or special than anyone over here or over there or over wherever. You're just the same as everyone else, okay? So for you to not only think yourself that you are somehow better or higher or more worthy than others, and then to try to convince other people that they themselves are right up there with you, everyone else is beneath you all. Dude, that's fucking cult speak. It is. Wow.
Maybe there's some really good people here.
Oh, Army Wife, I'm so.
Well, it turns out I had to edit after all. So let me give a little wrap up here. So as you heard, the whole thing that really set me off about this was this intent to actually try to change how we talk about things online through legislation. Like this seems like that's their purpose here, or Nonsense's purpose here, and has been all along. That she's now finally able to concentrate on her actual intended purpose of being here. Now that all that other shit is over. Now that she got her foot in the door. Now that she has her channel going and she's monetized finally. Now she gets to do what she really came here to do. That alarms me. Now, I know that, like, when Katie Joy was sued by Toddy Westbrook, for example, from what I understand, a lot of the bigger YouTubers were concerned about this because of what it would mean for the commentary, could possibly mean for the commentary community on YouTube regarding things like free speech and just commentary, basically, as far as what people are allowed to say, what they're allowed to talk about, how they're allowed to participate, whatever the case may be. I know that they were worried about this. Well, this worries me more because Katie Joy is Katie Joy. I didn't think that anything she would do would ever be applied to the rest of YouTube equally. Like anything she did, I don't think any rational, reasonable person would think, well, if Katie Joy did this, and that means anyone that's going to do this, everyone's going to do this, because she's extreme, all on an island by herself. I wasn't worried about that. But this is just your basic garden variety of a bunch of Karens. And I hate to keep using that term, but they kind of are. They're entitled, privileged women who are bitching and complaining because they got nothing better to do. And the things that they're bitching and complaining about, like, I feel like that when at points in our life when we don't really have anything meaningful going on within ourselves, within our own lives, or the lives of someone close to us, something that affects us directly, then we start to look for meaning and purpose elsewhere. And I feel like that's exactly what's going on here. For whatever reason, I feel like that's what's going on here. And now these women are making, or these people rather, I apologize, it's not just women. These people are making it their purpose in life to tell you can't talk about things that make them uncomfortable or they don't like to see or hear. You don't have the right to make money in a way that they don't seem morally sound within their own value system. But the thing is they'll turn around and make money the same exact way, just like Nonsense is doing now. They're hypocrites, but that's not even my biggest bitch with them. Like, that's the small part. That's the little part. I don't care about that, really. It's that they don't realize that their anger and their misery within their own boring lives is going to cause real harm for a lot of people if they continue to push for this nonsense. Now, hopefully we have enough wise people in office to prevent that, but yeah, we don't. So this worries me, though. I think the only way to really fight back against a whole set of entitled, privileged people like this is for the people to fight back. And I don't mean fight back by doing anything, questionable or degrading or anything. Nothing bad. Just say no. Just stand up to them when they come around and they're pushing this kind of think and this kind of narrative. Say no. Point out that what they're doing is harmful. Point out that when people can't talk or when people can't make money, when we as a society allow outsiders to tell us that we shouldn't or we can't make money the way they feel is just or right, even though the law has already stated the guidelines here. So long as you're not breaking the law, why are we allowing other people to dictate what goes on in our own financial business? Like, we shouldn't be. That's what I think bothers me more than anything. Like, how dare you tell any, and I'm going to use women here, I apologize, but it applies to both genders. But who the hell do you think you are to tell some woman who's kind of stuck at home? I hate to say it like that, but yeah, who's kind of stuck at home, who can't really go outside the home to get a job because it's just her taking care of these kids, okay, whatever kids she has. When maybe they're well-adjusted, happy, healthy kids or whatever, but maybe they're kids with special needs or something. I don't know. But in any regard, who are you to tell that woman she has to go back to work and work at some fucking cashier job or something, and someone else has to take care of her kids, and she has to pay that someone else to take care of her kids because you don't think she should be able to utilize this niche that she found on YouTube to talk about things and sit there and take care of her kids while making money? Because you know what? A good portion of the commentary community, I think, is just that. Who the fuck are you to tell them what they can and can't do? And then you got someone like Nonsense there who feels entitled to dictate this for people. But then she's even said herself that she's fallen short, like financially wise, for medical needs of her kids. So she's done GoFundMes. Well, how would she feel if someone came in and said, no, I don't think you should be able to do that? That your kids aren't our responsibility. Now, don't get me wrong. They would be just as wrong. No one should ever say that shit. I mean, no child should ever be denied any kind of health care. I don't care. Like, in my opinion, Nonsense should not even ever have to do the GoFundMe for something like that. There should just be a fucking right, okay? So don't take this the wrong way. But how messed up would it be for someone to say to her, no, you can't do that. I don't think you should be able to do that. I'm going to write my legislator, so you can't do that. Because it's kind of not, it's not really different. You're asserting your own will, your own morals, your own values, regardless of where anyone else stands. And you're trying to blanket the world and your image or your views, whatever, your sight. But it's not your world. You occupy a small portion of it. And in that portion, yeah, sure, you can make whatever decisions you want. But when you step outside of your own little world, what's that saying? Your rights begin where my rights end, something like that. So yeah, your rights on YouTube begin where mine end. You don't get to tell me what I should be allowed to watch, what I should be allowed to talk about, how I should be allowed to make any kind of money off the platform should I want to. You don't get to dictate that for anyone. And fucking nerve for thinking you can. The entitlement you must feel and you must think you possess to think you are the person to determine this for everyone else. You're like a petulant, spoiled brat of a child, in my opinion. And I mean that with the least amount of offense possible. That's it. Wrap up. Done. Over. Bye. Thank you for watching.